Okay, I want to thank the KadampaCenter for sponsoring this Shakyamuni Buddha Puja on this day of the solar eclipse when the merit is multiplied by 100 million times. And it's one of the practices that Lama Zopa Rinpoche has encouraged us to do, so because of that there's even more merit. So we'll start on page 1 on the text. If you don't have a text, it's on the bin right there. To you who are the essence of the body, speech, mind, and all qualities and actions of all the Tathagatas, of the 3 times and 10 directions, the source of 84,000 sections of the doctrine, lords of all the Arya Sangha, the glorious, holy, kind, root, and lineage gurus, I go for refuge. I go for refuge to the Buddha. I go for refuge to the Dharma. I go for refuge to the Sangha. To you who are of the essence of the body, speech, mind, and all qualities and actions, of all the Tathagatas, of the 3 times and 10 directions, the source of the 84,000 sections of the doctrine, lords of all the Arya Sangha, the glorious, holy, kind, and root and lineage gurus, I go for refuge. I go for refuge to the Buddha. I go for refuge to the Dharma. I go for refuge to the Sangha. To you who are of the essence of the body, speech, mind, and all qualities and actions, of all the Tathagatas, of the 3 times and 10 directions, the source of the 84,000 sections of the doctrine, lords of all the Arya Sangha, the glorious, holy, kind, root, and lineage gurus, I go for refuge. I go for refuge to the Buddha. I go for refuge to the Dharma. I go for refuge to the Sangha. I must make all these sentient beings my mothers have happiness and its cause. I must make them free from suffering and its cause. Therefore, I must at all costs quickly win unsurpassable Buddhahood. By the power of the truth of the 3 jewels, of the inspiration of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of the great might of the completed 2 collections, and of the pure and inconceivable Dharmadhatu, that this place where the deity host of the peerless king of the Shakyas and their entourage are to be invoked, become a perfectly pure Buddha land, created through the previous special vows of the teacher, the king of sages, with qualities of splendor like those of Lord Amitabha's land. Let its ground be of the nature of manifold jewels, as even as the palm of the hand, broad and spacious, soft and pleasant to touch, immaculate, bright, spread with manifold heavenly flowers, with the sweet fragrance of snake's heart sandalwood. Their borders built of jewel tiles, their banks strewn with powder of gold, silver, and pearls, covered with graceful swaying utpatalas, kumudas, and lotuses, and adorned with various water birds sweetly calling and joyfully soaring and hovering, that lakes, ponds, and pools, with the 8 properties, make it beautiful. Let wish-granting trees of jewels, bending and swaying beneath celestial gems, garlands of pearls, pendant jewels, nodding blossoms, and beautifully formed fruit, with sounds of true Dharma coming from the ringing of little golden bells, stand everywhere and adorn it well. So let the perfect ground appear. In its center, let there be a palace arrayed with the 7 precious things most brilliant, emitting powerful beams of light that completely fill measureless worlds of limitless extent, containing infinite, different, well-proportioned dwellings, of the sphere of those who have completely transcended the 3 realms, arisen from the superior roots of virtue of those who have transcended the world, marked by utterly pure and dominating knowledge, the abode of Tathagatas, with the community of Bodhisattvas, frequented by infinite gods, nagas, yakshas, gandharvas, asuras, garudas, kinnaras, great serpent demons, human beings and spirits, fixed in joy in the taste of Dharma and great bliss, causing all the goals of every sentient being to be attained, free of every stain of harmful defilement, bereft of all maras, a place of the manifestations of Tathagatas, excelling the manifestation of all things, a vehicle of attachment from samsara through mindfulness, wisdom, and great realization, and of quietude and insight, entered by the doors of deliverance, emptiness, signlessness, and wishlessness, resting on an array of kings of jewel lotuses adorned with infinite qualities, let the great palace appear. In its center, let there be gathered a lotus seat on a precious lion throne for the peerless teacher, the king of sages, and seats for all the rest of the Tathagatas, of the 10 directions and the Bodhisattvas, Hearer and Pratyeka Aryas and their attendants. These places are in accordance with the special vows and the might of each Arya, all beautiful. Let them appear. Everywhere outside and in accordance with their high status, let it be entirely filled with manifold, excellent, perfect requisites of gods and human beings, such as foodstuffs, clothing, ornaments, and music, as described in the Sutra of the 3 heaps of the vow of the conduct of Vajra, in whole oceans of clouds of offerings, and let it be adorned with ornaments. Let all Aryas take their seats, transform these offerings into suchness, accept them, and enjoy them. Let all the Aryas take their seats, transform these offerings into suchness, accept them, and enjoy them. Let all the Aryas take their seats, transform these offerings into suchness, accept them, and enjoy them. Om Namo Bhagavate Vajrasara Pramadanaye Tathagataya Arahate Samyak Sambuddhaya Teyata Om Vajre Vajre Mahavajre Mahateja Vajre Mahavidya Vajre Mahabodhitita Vajre Mahabodhi Mendopasam Kamana Vajre Sawakawa Awarano Vishodhana Vajre Soha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vajrasara Pramadanaye Tathagataya Arahate Samyak Sambuddhaya Teyata Om Vajre Vajre Mahavajre Mahateja Vajre Mahavidya Vajre Mahabodhitita Vajre Mahabodhi Mendopasam Kamana Vajre Sawakawa Awarano Vishodhana Vajre Soha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vajrasara Pramadanaye Tathagataya Arahate Samyak Sambuddhaya Teyata Om Vajre Vajre Mahavajre Mahateja Vajre Mahavidya Vajre Mahabodhitita Vajre Mahabodhi Mendopasam Kamana Vajre Sawakawa Awarano Vishodhana Vajre Soha. By the power of the truth of the 3 jewels of the inspiration of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of the great might of the completed 2 collections, and the pure and inconceivable Dharmadhatu, may these offerings become suchness. By the power of the truth of the 3 jewels of the inspiration of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of the great might of the completed 2 collections, and of the pure and inconceivable Dharmadhatu, may these offerings become suchness. By the power of the truth of the 3 jewels of the inspiration of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of the great might of the completed 2 collections, and of the pure and inconceivable Dharmadhatu, may these offerings become suchness. Lord, bestowing every perfection, Tathagata Arhat, complete and perfect Buddha, matchless King of the Shakyas and the rest of the conquerors of the 10 directions, with your assemblies of children and disciples and the protectors of your doctrine, please pay attention to us donors. Now you, our teacher, Lord Shakyamuni Buddha, have, because of your disciples, manifested the passing into nirvana in this earth, but in other worlds and various Tathagatas transformations, you remain benefiting migrating beings. Out of your great compassion that looked upon all sentient beings 6 times each day and night, and great compassion for us unruly, intractable sentient beings of the age of conflict, when the lifespan is 100 years, who were previously abandoned and forsaken by all the other bodhisattvas, Jyotipala and the rest, that were to attain enlightenment in this fortunate eon, left behind without protector, refuge or friend in the waves of becoming and the machinery of samsara. Sentient beings who are the vessel of every kind of sufferings, you adopted us, made 500 great vows on top of the previous special vows you had pronounced, and have kept to us, your subject disciples, included among those you accepted as your emblem, and a mere remnant of the recipients of your kindness, so as to ripen and liberate us migrating beings of when the 5 generacies grow. Will you please come, invited as a protector and friend, enter these palace grounds with their collection of offerings, and consent to join the great assembly and exert your supernatural power. Other Buddhas of this fortunate eon, the succession of 7 Sugatas and other Buddha Bhagawans dwelling in the 10 directions in the 3 times, so as to ripen and liberate us migrating beings of when the 5 degeneracies grow, will you please come, invited as a protector and friend, enter these palace grounds with their collection of offerings, and consent to join the great assembly and exert your supernatural power. Your whole assembly of bodhisattvas, the 8 great sons and others, so as to ripen and liberate us migrating beings when the 5 degeneracies grow, will you please come, invited as protectors and friends, enter these palace grounds with their collection of offerings, and consent to join the great assembly and exert your supernatural power. You great disciples, the excellent pair, Kasyapa, the 16 elders and others, and whole assembly of Hir and Pratyeka Aryas, so as to ripen and liberate us migrating beings of when the 5 degeneracies grow, will you please come, invited as protectors and friends, enter these palace grounds with their collection of offerings, and consent to join the great assembly and exert your supernatural power. All you protectors of the Dharma, the Aryas who once promised to protect the doctrine, and the 4 classes of followers, so as to ripen and liberate us migrating beings of when the 5 degeneracies grow, will you please come, invited as a protector and friends, enter these palace grounds with their collection of offerings, and consent to join the great assembly and exert your supernatural power. Protector of all beings without exception, and the subduer of Mara's tribe and forces, deity, perfect knower of all things, pure one in attendance, please come here. Malu senchen kungi gongyu ching, du de punche misa jongza la, ngona malu yanda kengyu pe, yonda kodan chate sheksu so. In the center of the palace, upon a tall, wide, precious throne, supported by 8 great lions, is a universal lotus seat. On this sits one who is, in essence, my kind root guru, but in aspect the conqueror Shakyamuni, his body the color of refined gold. He has an Anushnisha on top of his head, and is one-faced and two-armed, his right hand touching the earth, his left in the contemplation mudra holding an alms bowl full of nectar. He is wearing 3 beautiful robes, dull red in color. His head is beautifully adorned with a crown of the 5 families of Tathagatas, made of gold, with the silk ribbons of a hero, studded with all kinds of jewels. Adorned with the marks and signs, and of the nature of bright, clear light, he sits amid a mass of light produced from his body, with his 2 legs in the Vajra cross-legged position. To his right and left of his throne stand the 2 Aryas, Shariputra and Maha Galyayana, in attitudes of showing respect to the teacher. Around sit the glorious, holy, and root and lineage gurus, and the innumerable Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, heroes and Pratyeka Aryas and their attendants, each on their own seat. Thinking with wisdom and love of beings like space, you finish the 2 collections in 3 countless eons, glory of the Saha universe, supreme guide, chief of the Shakyas, homage to you. To beings of times of decline, you have more compassion than all the other infinite conquerors and their children. To you, O matchless teacher, king of the Shakyas, with great respect, with my 3 doors, I pay homage. Unable to bear beings' torments with your compassion, you arouse the thought, I'll free all beings from the sea of becoming, and during countless eons practice difficult conduct, homage to you. Once, Lord, when you took birth as a Brahman, not bearing in compassion the misery of a tigress and her cubs, you gave your body, healer of affliction, homage to you. Once, when as King Siba you were born, without regret you gave away all you owned to a blind Brahman, both your eyes you gave, you made the blind see, homage to you. Once, when you were king of Kosala, recalling your previous life, you said, behold, this vast result of giving, but some sour gruel, teaching people true Dharma, homage to you. When you were the merchant, heroic in giving, Mara, unable to bear it, created a fire pit. Courageously you crossed the pit of fire and made offering to an Arya, homage to you. When you were the merchant, Avisaya, the gods, to test you, made all your goods disappear, but cutting grass and selling it, with its price you still sustain the needy, homage to you. When born as a master hare, you taught your followers Dharma, and to feed a hungry Brahmin, leapt in a fire yourself. Then Indra took you and showed to all this marvel. Homage to you. Born as a Brahm, living in forest austerities, though for 3 days a god took your austere food, still you gave without regret or attachment, living on joy of samadhi. Homage to you. Born King Maitribala, with love you looked after all beings. With your own flesh and blood you fed 5 yakshas, saying, when I am Buddha, I shall give you nectar. Homage to you. Born as King Visvantara, you gave all you cherished away, including your wealth, elephant, son, and daughter. By fearless giving, you made all beings happy. Homage to you. Once born as a righteous king, you saved the lives of countless animals, not allowing their sacrifice. All your people you fixed in the law of 10 virtues, perfect and generosity. Homage to you. When born as king of the gods, amidst a battle with the asuras, you caught sight of a bird's nest and saved the young bird's life, just regarding your own, keeper of morality. Homage to you. When you were born a Brahman, your master told you Brahmins in distress were allowed to steal, but you replied that stealing was improper, perfect in morality. Homage to you. When you were king of the Sibbis, your minister offered you lovely Unmadayanti, but you said, though it cost me my life, I'll not commit adultery. Keeper of pure morality. Homage to you. When you were a great sea pilot, by true factual words, you overcame the ocean's abyss and satisfied all desires with manifold jewels. Suparaga, good crossing. Homage to you. When you were king of fishes, and little fish were harmed by the lakes drying up and various birds, you saved them by true words that made it rain. Skillful, compassionate one. Homage to you. When you were a quail, a forest fire encircled you, but by speaking true words you turned it back, saved countless beings' lives, and made them happy. You with the strength of truth. Homage to you. Once when you were Sakura, king of the gods, seeing a king and his court undone by liquor, you taught them by skilled transformation, accept them in virtue, matchless best guide of beings. Homage to you. Once, Lord, when you were born a wealthy Satriya, urged by detachment, perceiving the faults of desire, you abandoned all enjoyments of samsara and took the pure going forth. Homage to you. Born into an illustrious Brahman line, you abandoned all wealth to meditate in the wild, made bad conditions a path, gave up thought of harming, and taught your companions the Dharma. Homage to you. Once when you were treasurer to a king, when you heard your virtues proclaimed by others, you gave up this life and joyfully went forth, perfect in morality. Homage to you. Born a Brahman, you left home and went forth, known as Kudabodhi, slighted by a king. You angered not, but welcomed him patiently and taught him. Homage to you. When born a king of geese, though caught in a snare, you had no fear nor wrath, but with skill and courage, for King Brahmadatta and his attendants, you turned the wheel of Dharma. Homage to you. When you were the wanderer Mahabodhi, many abused you, but you showed patience, not wrath, and to the king and his court you who held wrong views, showed the true way things are. Homage to you. When born as an ape, you carried up on your back a man fallen over a precipice. When this wicked man returned harm for kindness, you were patient, outstandingly helpful rescuer. Homage to you. When you were born through compassion, a Saraba beast, the king attacking you fell into a chasm, but mounting him on your own body, you lifted him out. Sole friend of migrators, homage to you. When born as a Ruru deer through your compassion, you saved an exhausted man swept away by a river, bore his betrayal, and turned the wheel of Dharma for the king and his retinue. Homage to you. When you were a chief of monkeys and an army assailed your monkey tribe, in your compassion you made your body a bridge and saved the tribe, astonishing great being. Homage to you. When you were the ascetic Santivadim, though a king had your body cut in pieces, not wroth with him, once more in your compassion you repaid good for injury. Homage to you. Born as the lord of Brahma gods in compassion, you taught Angadina, holder of evil views, the deep law of cause and effects dependent arising. You beneficial in all ways. Homage to you. Born as elephant in a dreadful wild, in mercy not bearing the plight of 700 people a king had banished, you gave up your body to feed them, perfect in patience. Homage to you. When you were Sutta Soma, because of your teachings, Kalmasapada freed those he held captive. You practiced and explained in all its parts the good path, perfect in energy. Homage to you. Born as Prince Ayogra, iron house dweller, sick of samsara and driven by detachment, you strove in the practice of bodhicitta and samadhi, perfect in dhyana. Homage to you. When through compassion you took a buffalo's body, you bore a monkey's insults and taught some gods, profound dependent arising of cause and effect, you so perfect in wisdom. Homage to you. When through love for beings you took a bird's body, you cured a tormenting lion and taught some gods, the good path that pleases the conquerors, all matchless supreme guide to beings. Homage to you. Through infinite existences like these, enjoying insatiably like an elephant bathing, difficult deeds for others, you were enlightened, O compassionate teacher. Homage to you. Perfecter of ocean-like sets of non-attachment, faultlessness, imperturbation, all-inclusion, undistraction, unconfusion method, power, vow, and wisdom knowledge. Homage to you. Mindfulness efforts, the basis of psychic power, the supreme faculties and the amazing powers, the enlightenment factors and the Arya paths, all these you duly realized. Homage to you. In 3 countless eons, completing the 10 stages, to tame the gods you became into Shida, the excellent being known as Svetaketu, you of infinite merits. Homage to you. Knowing it was time, you happily entered the womb, were born from the womb, engaged in youthful sports, went forth and lived in practice of austerities, realizer of all benefits. Homage to you. Beneath the Bodhi tree you overcame, with mind of loving kindness, Maur's force. All conquerors of the 10 directions gave you empowerment. O great hero, homage to you. Having won 5 super knowledges by the supreme Vajra-like samadhi, you gained the unsurpassable awakening, leader of the world. Homage to you. Abandoning all stains and their impressions, your wisdom knowledge grew completely full. So you are the whole world's refuge, even the gods, perfect Buddha. Homage to you. You gained the triple kaya, bodies of great bliss and wisdom, with 5 certain features, and with elaboration stilled by nature, and shown in all forms for others. Homage to you. Your body, gleaming like the king of mountains, gives off infinite light just like the sun, and shines all around with all the marks and signs. Unparalleled protector, homage to you. With true words of Dharma eloquence, of excellent meaning, you proclaim your lion's roar that fears no listener, all bedecked in 60 qualities. Homage be to you. You of the 5 wisdom knowledges, clear, unobstructed, of non-abiding equality, source of virtues, achieving all good for disciples, free of all concepts, Lord of the world and nirvana. Homage to you. Discoverer of all virtues, worldly disciples, of the rhinoceros-like and conqueror's children, common superior, supreme teacher of samsara nirvana. Homage to you. You were born from free, or when you are free from all the bonds and fetters, by infinite miracles that fulfill your vows, you benefit beings as long as samsara lasts, sole friend of all beings. Homage to you. Turning the excellent precious wheel of Dharma, you discipline beings very hard to tame, and fix disciples in the 3 liberation, possessor of the 10 powers. Homage to you. Knowing the season of your disciples' fortune, you entrusted the doctrine to the Aryas and manifested nirvana at Kushinagara, putting an end of sorrow. Homage to you. That beings' merits might yet be increased, your remains were turned in heaps of relics, serving as basis for the whole world's worship, you whose deeds are ceaseless. Homage to you. To the wise produced directly or by transmission from the true Dharma and teachings of Scripture and insight, well taught by that supreme matchless teacher, with indivisible faith from my heart I pay homage. To the teachers, statues, supreme well-being, books of his well-taught word or commenting on his thought, the sites of his stupas and everything, worthy of homage, devoutly I pay homage. To the Buddha jewel, the supreme teacher, the jewel of true Dharma, supreme refuge. To the Sangha jewel, the supreme guides, the 3 jewels of refuge, I pay homage. To all the lords of To all the lines of men who in the 3 times have come into the world in the 3 directions, to all of them without exception, I pay homage in faith with body, speech, and mind. By virtue of the vow of Bhadra conduct, in the mental presence of all the conquerors, I make prostration to them all by bowing, with bodies as many as the atoms of their lands. On one atom Buddhas sit, as many as the atoms miss their Buddha children. Thus I visualize the Dharma realm, all entirely filled with conquerors. In inexhaustible oceans of their praises, with every sound from an ocean of vocal members, proclaiming the virtues of all the conquerors, I give praise to all the Sugatas. Just as to the Buddha once, Sakra, ruler of the gods, offered greeting water, so I shall offer greeting water. Just as to the Buddha once, Mani Kuda Naga king, offered water for foot washing, so I offer foot wash water. Just as to the Buddha once, goddess of the Ganges river, offered golden flowers, I shall offer flowers too. Just as to the Buddha once, Lucky the boy incense seller, offered incense, so likewise I shall offer incense too. Just as to the Buddha once, King Suvama Puja made, offering of light, so too I shall offer light to him. Just as to the Buddha once, Supriya Gandharva king, offered perfume, so likewise I shall offer perfume too. Just as to the Buddha once did Anathapindada, the householder, offer food, so I too shall offer food. Just as to the Buddha once, Amarapriya the smith and Naganandina offered music, I shall offer music too. Lo, an unsurpassed offering, self-arisen great offering, mirror held by form goddess, form I offer to your eyes. Lo, an unsurpassing offering, self-arisen great offering, lute held by the sound goddess, sound I offer to your ears. Lo, an unsurpassed offering, self-arisen great offering, conch held by the scent goddess, scent I offer to your nose. Lo, an unsurpassed offering, self-arisen great offering, food held by the taste goddess, taste I offer to your tongue. Lo, an unsurpassed offering, self-arisen great offering, clothes held by the touch goddess, touch I offer to your body. Beaming brilliance to the 10 directions, perfect made of perfect gold, this crown, to the Shakas king's head do I offer. May this make the precious doctrine spread in the 10 directions, great well-being, fill the world and gods and other beings, be crowned with the rank that has 10 powers. Without mental clinging or attachment, I shall offer monks and nuns the 3, robes the guides have praised, staffs, and ascetics, bowls, all proper and correct in measure. Though your stainless marks are unobscured, I present in faith a russet banner. Thus may sentient being, vast as space, live with the supreme Buddha conduct. Offering goddesses decked with ornaments, charming, most fair, in full pride of youth, giving all joys, skilled in song and dance, granting marvelous bliss to all 6 senses. Some that hold assorted bowls of flowers, others filling all parts with sweet incense. Holding lamps or perfumes or ambrosia, I give worship with clouds of these offerings. Loving Lord and retinue, please gladly take this far spread set of offerings, for my merits increase, set out here, or imagine and grant me the highest. Goddesses of lute and flute, barrel drum and tambourine, laughter, grace, and song and dance, those of flowers and incense, those of lamps and perfume too, and of mirrors and of scents, tangibles and thought objects, I create to fill space and offer conquerors and their children. Please accept this being's sake. Precious wheels made of divine material, 1,000 spoke, their hubs completely round, rims quite smooth and excellent, subduing hostile foes, I offer filling space. Precious jewels rich in essence of azure stone divine, that light the land for a league around as if night were spotless day, I offer filling space. Precious ladies, comely and good-looking, soft-skinned, fair complexion and well-mannered, scent, attractive and to touch, all one wants, I offer filling space. Precious ministers with wealth like conquerors, offering pearly lustered golden riches, to the sage and patient, equable chamberlains, I offer filling space. Precious elephants, all parts well made, standing on the ground like great snow mountains, worthy a monarch that can travel in the sky, I offer filling space. precious horses that within a morning can traverse the land in all directions and return their coats like peacocks' necks. Beautiful, I offer, filling space. Precious generals with armies ready, terrifying all the troops of Maras, moving, going, coming from all sides. Glorious, I offer, filling space. Just as once the Buddha had Srivatsas and whirls of... thanks to the roots of virtue from offering the 7 precious things of royalty. May the donors become great Dharma kings ruling the kingdom of the unsurpassable Dharma. Just as once the Buddha had Srivatsas and whirls of joy, for auspiciousness' sake, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, great Brahma made offering of a golden wheel with rim, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, lotuses of white were offered, not soiled by a speck of mud, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, Dharma banners were offered, sign of conquering Klesha Mara, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, golden handle white umbrellas were offered, so shall I offer. Please accept them as you will. Just as to the Buddha once was offered a magic pot that accomplished every wish, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once was offered a right coiled conch, sounding sweetly everywhere, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, clothes with golden fish design were offered, so shall I offer. Please accept them as you will. Thanks to the roots of virtue from offering the 8 auspicious symbols for the donors in every place, time, and situation, may extensive auspicious signs of prosperity and well-being appear continually. Just as to the Buddha once, Prabhadara, form goddess, offered in the hand a mirror, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, Dhanapala elephant, offer Rokana in hand, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, farmer's daughter Sujata, offered cow's milk curd in hand, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, boy grouse seller Svastika, offered durva grass in hand, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, great Brahma, the supreme God, offered bel tree fruit in hand, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, Sakra, ruler of the gods, offered rightward coiled right conch, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, Brahma Saklajit the lucky, offered minium in hand, so shall I make offering. Just as to the Buddha once, Vajrapani Guhyak Lord, gave white mustard seed in hand, so shall I make offering. Thanks to the roots of virtue from offering the 8 auspicious things, may extensive prosperity and auspicious signs appear continually in every world. This auspicious vase, adorned with jewels, full of nectars of the gods I offer, lets us cleanse all stains of deeds and klesha, and soak me in bodhicitta's moisture. By the virtue of my offering drums, may all beings have the Brahmic voice, reach the Buddha's supreme best awakening, turn the ever wholesome wheel of Dharma, left for eons inconceivable, teach the Dharma for the world's wear, conquer klesha and cure suffering. May delusion, greed, and hate be quelled. Can we do Dhamma here? No? I don't know. I don't either. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. Thanks to the root of virtue from the offering drums. By the which one? Where were we? Yeah, thanks to the root. Roots of the virtue for offering drum, and the donors beat the great drum and the Dharma continually. Fine white conches well coiled to the right, with silk crest and tuneful blare that fills all directions, filling space are offer. May the whirlwind Brahmic voice supreme. Thanks to the roots of virtue from offering conches, may the donors blow the conch of the Dharma continually. Parasols with sapphire tips agleam, with 1,000 spokes of spotless gold, round their edge adorned with wreaths of pearls, decked with diverse gems I offer you. Thanks to the roots of virtue from offering parasols, may the donors become great kings of the unsurpassable Dharma. Banners of your triumph over components, with straight, supple, precious poles that have crescents, vajras, jewels, finials, with 3 fills, upon which little bells tinkle as they flutter in the breeze. Well adorned with triple sinuous grace, these and splendid flags, with and without, signs of lovely creatures, I shall offer. Thanks to the roots of virtue from offering banners and flags, may the donors hoist in the 10 directions the banner of the Dharma triumphant over all opponents and prestigious flags. Countless canopies of priceless cloth that adorn the sky with varied silk, fringes waving, scented with snake's heart, sandalwood and clouds, I'll offer you. Conquerors subdue Mara and Wakem, though their bodies have no filth or thirst, still to make them merit fields for us, these prepared foods and foodstuffs we offer. May the crop of virtue always grow, and I and all migrate as vast as space, born from lotuses and sukhavati, enjoy dharma and samadhi food. Superb flowers and garlands, instruments of music, unguents, finest parasols, and the best of lamps and excellent incense. With these I make offering to the conquerors. Finest raiment and supreme powdered incense equal to Mount Meru, all the best of most distinguished splendor. With these I make offering to the conquerors. Finest jewels, finest necklaces, dazzling superb canopies divine, and the best of banners and of flags. With these I make offering to the conquerors. Offerings that are vast and supreme, I visualize for every conqueror. I, by the power of faith in Bhadrakanta, honor and make offering to all conquerors. Those in general, and raised in canopies come right, spreading diverse flowers everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the incense, that in general, and raised in canopies come slight, spreading diverse incense everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the perfumes, those in general, and raised in canopies come slight, spreading diverse perfumes everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the garlands, those in general, and raised in canopies come slight, spreading diverse garlands everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the powders, those in general, and raised in canopies come slight, spreading diverse powders everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the garments, those in general, and raised in canopies come slight, spreading diverse raiment everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the parasols in general, and raised in canopies come slight, spreading diverse parasols everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the jewels, those in general, and raised in canopies come slight, spreading diverse jewels everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. From the lotuses in general, and raised in canopies come slight, spreading diverse lotus everywhere, honoring noble conquerors and their children. Lotuses in general, and raised in canopies come slight, spreading diverse lotuses everywhere. Where are we? 14? 15. From the banners in arrays comes light, filling all the conquerors' lands with many banners and arrays of diverse kinds, white, red, yellow banners, and some blue ones. Parasols arrayed with diverse nests of jewels, hung with silken flags and garlands, tinkling Buddha word from net of bells, over to Takadas I hold. As I give a single conqueror offerings beyond thought from my palms, so I offer to all conquerors as ascetic's magic of samadhi. Flowers grown on land or water, not possessed by gods or others. In this or another place I present you chiefs of sages. Every excellent incense tree, in this or another place, gods and others' marvelous incense, I present you chiefs of sages. Light from dazzling noble gems, or produced from shining trees, or from suns and moons and so forth, sent out to all parts I offer. Perfume from fine, fragrant trees, in this or another place I send out to every region and present you, lords of sages. Sending out clouds of the finest offerings, seas of jewel nature, jewel mountains, and so forth, to all regions I'll make offering. Troops the most fond of play and pleasure, laughing, graceful, and so forth, the most joyful anywhere, I'll send out to every region. Sources of adornments, clothes, and so on, like wish-granting trees, I, reciting Vajra mantras, offer unto all the Buddhas. Generating bodhicitta for all sentient beings' sake, sending it to every region, I'll make offering to all Buddhas. Through my offering the perfection of giving, may sentient beings all achieve wealth and abundance, may their happiness lack nothing. Let all beings be established in their vows and bodhicitta. I send everywhere the calming of great faults like violence. May the sufferings of malice, fear, and other things be calm. May yogins and friendliness practice dharma selflessly. Do not reach Buddhahood till samsara meets its end. May all sentient beings too practice with such energy. Let all creatures' great defilements, such as greed, be pacified. Let all beings undistracted be possessed of the 4 dhyanas. Made pure by applying wisdom, great wisdom of Buddhist gnosis, best at cutting offering, may all beings be pure Buddhas. Fancying myself as many as thrice thousandfold world's atoms, I imagine clouds of offerings and made offering to all Buddhas. Fancying myself as many as thrice thousandfold world's atoms, as the tongues as many too, I recite the Buddha's praises. Matchless firm one, with a matchless supreme nature, merciful dispeller of my greater sorrows. cities and of endless virtues, the best of spotless, stable, peerless features. Of your virtues, smallest fraction, there's no measure. They could not be printed in the entire sky. You of unexampled, peerless, endless cities, grant to sentient beings minds of supreme siddhas, with the property of ceaseless prayer fulfillment, from the force of very pure compassion born, striving endlessly to benefit migrators. Always reveal your great compassion nature. Though you found the noble state of Sugata, fully perfect, lacking measure or limit, still your stable conduct of compassion, granting supreme siddhis to the three realms, will not cease. Lo, you have the best of very excellent natures. Of boon granters you have gained the highest rank, granting supreme siddhis to all three realms always. Lord, who comprehends the three times unobstructed, grant me the three supreme pledges, best of siddhis. Next, combining all the offerings coming from the body, speech, and mind of those self-same yogins, I'll make offering to all Buddhas. Supreme concentrations on emptiness, no dharmas real, signlessness and wishlessness I shall offer to all Buddhas. Made by the force of merits without measure, finest jewel crown of God's materials, coiled up jewel earrings for your earlobes, best neck bangle for the conch-like neck, necklace for your heart's srivasti signs, best protective thread for the upper arm, magic powers. I shall offer conquerors and their children in compassion. Please accept for beings. Made by force of merits without measure, precious parasols with golden handles, banners of triumph over foes and morrows, flags of fame to 10 directions waving, decked with lovely silk garlands throughout, pain-removing jewel-handled cowries, canopies that glow with jewel ornaments. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In compassion, please accept for beings. Made by force of merits without measure, lion's seat for your four fearlessness, other lovely, gorgeous, heavenly bedding, round precinct, no corners of defilements, palace square for your full qualities, second story square for world transcendence, moon seed, clear light-natured bodhicitta. I shall offer conquerors and their children in compassion. Please accept for beings. Made by merits measure, finest lotus unsoiled by greed's mud, lute and bells for sound of emptiness, scent of skillful unsoiled aggregates, dharma food that cures defilement's hunger, God's clothes, conscience, and consideration. I shall offer conquerors and their children in compassion. Please accept for beings. And the 10 directions worlds are this one, all there is of heavenly greeting water, made by magic by the emperor's knowledge. I shall offer conquerors and their children. And the 10 directions worlds are this one, all there is of fine and soft light cloth, of gold, good colors, fragrant, nice to touch. I shall offer conquerors and their children. And the directions worlds are this one, all the lovely, precious, decorated canopies, most pleasant to be near. I shall offer conquerors and their children. And the 10 directions worlds are this one, many colored flags of stuffs of heaven, fluttering bravely in the 10 directions. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions world are this one, precious parasols with golden handles, edges trimmed with well-shaped ornaments. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, precious gem-tipped banners and the flying flags of triumph over Mara's foes. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, trees that bear assorted fragrant flowers, pleasing and superb in shape and color. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the directions worlds are this one, all there is of exquisite perfumes, cool, sweet-scented, curing pain on conduct. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, swelling clouds of smoke, heavenly incense, blended well from camphor and so forth. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, precious blazing lamps of heavenly substance, stopping darkness in the 10 directions. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, diverse foods and swastikas and so on, 100 flavored, fine in smell and color. I shall offer conquerors and the children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, all the pleasant music sweet to hear, from 10 kinds of instruments like flutes. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, all the well-trained dancers and musicians playing joyfully and beautifully. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, all the best adornments of divine jewels, such as crowns, earrings, and bangles. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions worlds are this one, all the excellent, gorgeous silken ribbons, hanging splendidly in every place. I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions, worlds are this one, lovely garlands of sweet malika, and of all precious flowers I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions, worlds are this one, palaces adorned with jeweled cowries, strings of pearls, crescent moons, and gems I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions, worlds are this one, herds of horses, thoroughbreds, swift running, triumphing over foes in pleasant places I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions, worlds are this one, herds of elephants, the best of mounts, strong, foe-crushing, decked with nets of jewels I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions, worlds are this one, wish-fulfilling cows and other beasts that supply the local people's wants I shall offer conquerors and their children. In the 10 directions, worlds are this one, pleasing portals decked with bells and other ornaments set in the 10 directions I shall offer conquerors and their children. Next, let the further masses of offerings, in clouds of pleasant song and music, comforting beings' sufferings, arise. Of all Jews of true Dharma, reliquaries and statues, let unceasing rains of jewels, flowers, and so forth descend. Just as Manju Gosha and others worship conquerors, so to Lord Tathagatas and their sons I too make offering. In these seas of virtue praise, with oceans of hymnic sounds, let clouds of unfailing praise in concert arise to them. So if you just wait a second, because I have to set up my mandala. Let's see. Okay, so, all right. Om Vajragahu, mighty golden ground. Vajra fence Ahum, the iron fence around the edge. In the center is Mount Meru, king of mountains. In the east, the continent Lukpapo, south Zambuling, west Balangchur, north Damingyan. The subcontinents Lu and Lupal, Nyaya Yab and Nyaya Zhen, Yoden and Lamchodro, Damingyan and Damingya Gida. East, Precious Mountain, south, Wind-granting trees, west, wind-granting cows, north, uncultivated crops. Precious wheel, precious jewel, precious queen, precious minister, precious elephant, precious horse, precious general, great treasure vase. Goddess of beauty, goddess of garlands, goddess of song, goddess of dance, goddess of flowers, goddess of incense, goddess of light, goddess of perfume. The sun, moon, precious parasol, banner of victory in all directions. In the center are the most precious riches of gods and humans, with nothing missing, pure and delightful. To my glorious, holy, and most kind root and lineage gurus, and in particular to the deity host of the peerless king of the Shakyas and their entourage, I shall offer these. Please accept them with compassion for the sake of migrating beings. Having accepted them to me and all sentient beings, please grant every supreme and ordinary siddhi. Greeting water pools from seas of learning, flowers of virtues, incense clouds of morals, lamps of wisdom, perfume lakes of faith, best ambrosial footsteps of samadhi, sounding cymbals of melodious praise, raised umbrellas, banners, flags around of compassion, judgment, and quick wits, decorate my body's storied palace. This I offer, Dharma lords, to you, steadfastly abiding in the broad petaled lotus drop amidst my heart. I request with truly longing mind, may it always please the world's gurus, may it always please the kings of Dharma. so that henceforth, until Bodhi, your compassion's hook sustain me, I make offering in faith. Please accept it and inspire me. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru for continent, sun, and moon, I offer in visualization as field of Buddhas. May all sentient beings thus enjoy this pure land. Saji perki shushing metok tamri rablinshi ni degen padi sangye shindu mi te hua hidoku nam tak shing la che pashok idam guru ratamandalakam niryatayami. O deity hosts of the peerless king of the Shakyas and your entourage, you have inconceivable qualities of wisdom, love, and power, so please grant inspiration that my mind may move in the Dharma. Please grant inspiration that the Dharma may progress along the path. Please grant inspiration that no obstacles may arise in the path. Please grant inspiration to stop all perverse ideas. Please grant inspiration that all unperverted ideas may easily grow. Please grant inspiration that the precious doctrine of the conqueror and the second conqueror may spread, flourish, and remain for a long time. Please grant inspiration to increase the life and deeds of the holy beings who uphold the Dharma. Please grant inspiration that teaching and practice may flourish in the host of Sangha communities. Please grant inspiration that the might of the patrons of the doctrine may increase. Please grant inspiration that happiness may come for all sentient beings. Please grant inspiration that all external and internal adverse conditions such as sickness, famine, and conflict may be pacified in every world. Please grant inspiration that all good things, favorable conditions such as long life, merits, wealth, power, and prestige may increase and develop more and more. Please grant inspiration that all beings' rightful aims may be fulfilled as they wish. Body actions of 3 kinds, vocal ones of 4 kinds too, and 3 kinds of mental ones, 10 non-virtues, I confess. All the 10 unwholesome and 5 immediate deeds I've done through klesha, without beginning, to the present, I confess. Whatever evil deeds I may have done with body, speech, or likewise with the mind, under the power of greed, hate, and delusion, every one of them do I confess. Whatever merits all conquerors, Buddha children, pratyekas, aryas, training, and past training, and worldly beings have throughout the 10 directions, I rejoice in all of them. All you lights of the worlds of 10 directions, who have awakened to body and realized non-attachment, I urge all you protectors to turn the unsurpassable wheel of Dharma. Those who wish to demonstrate nirvana, I request with folded palms to stay for eons, as many as the atoms of their lands, for all beings' happiness and welfare. Whatever little virtue I've gathered from prostrating, offering, confessing, and rejoicing, urging, and requesting, I dedicate it all towards awakening. Today, before the deity hosts of conqueror Shakyamuni and their retinue here invoked, recollecting the past lives and biography of the Tathagata Shakyamuni, I have with great devotion paid homage and made offering to them, confessed my sins before them, rejoiced in virtue, exhorted and make requests to them, and so forth. By the force of whatever merit I have thus created, and of their power, glory, and inspiration, may the precious doctrine of the conqueror and second conqueror spread and flourish for a long time. May the lifespan and deeds of the holy beings who uphold the doctrine increase and develop more and more. May the activities of teaching and practice in the host of Sangha communities flourish more and more like the waxing moon. May the life, merits, wealth, power, and prestige of the patrons of the doctrine develop more and more like the depth of a river in summer. Thanks to their power and ability, May all sentient beings have perfect happiness. May all their rightful aims be spontaneously fulfilled like fruits of a wish-granting tree. In every world may not even the name occur of any external or internal harm, such as sickness, famine, injury by enemies, or hindering spirits, fighting and disputes. May good auspicious signs arise continually, such as rain falling at the right times, crops and livestock always doing well, and mutual concord of ruler and ministers and subjects. May I and all other sentient beings always pass our time solely in white, wholesome activities, such as honoring and worshiping the three jewels while holding them superior, living in the morality of the 10 virtues, teaching and learning about the 3 collections of scriptures, and practicing the 3 trainings. Thanks to the power of this, may we never be reborn in the 8 inopportune states, such as the 3 ill destinies, but obtain a succession of excellent human rebirths in which we can follow the good path. In particular, when the time for dying from this life draws near, may an intense faith focused upon the regent, the invincible Lord Maitreya, and his children manifest in us, and dying without the slightest suffering of body or mind, may we take birth miraculously from a precious lotus in Yuga Churdzin in Tushita. As soon as we are born there, may we see directly the faces of the conquered Lord Maitreya, the Bodhisattvas, Ganagamala, and Venerable Manjushri, and the many other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and receive infinite advice and instruction from them. May we understand their meaning correctly and put it into practice, so that the special paths such as detachment, bodhicitta, and right view arise in our minds at all times. Through this, when the regent, the invincible Lord Maitreya, displays the deeds of a supreme Nirmanakaya on earth, may we be born as the first of his retinue, enjoy insatiably the nectar of his holy speech, and receive the prophecy of our highest supreme awakening. May also the roots of virtue to be so dedicated, not degenerate in the least through adverse conditions such as anger, but become totally pure causes for whatever desired objects the conquerors of the 3 times and their children have dedicated or will dedicate roots of virtue towards. I have invoked the deity host of the King of Sages, prostrated offer requested through these virtues. Let me, before the sages, regents Maitreya, enjoy abundance of Mahayana teaching. When above the hill of Buddhagaya rises the King of Suns, the Lord Maitreya, may the lotus of my wisdom open and satisfy great swarms of fortunate bees. Then please may the conqueror Maitreya, setting his right hand upon my head, prophesy my highest supreme bodhi, and let me win it soon for all beings' sake. To the Lord of the doctrine, the Bhagavan teacher, and hosts of root and lineage gurus, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, hearers, Pratyakas, protectors, with my 3 doors I pay homage in great devotion. On this occasion of making homage, offering and request to the deity host of the peerless King of the Shakyas and their retinue, we sentient beings in an evil time of vile, impure behaviors, because of recklessness and not having things, have made errors and mistakes, such as conduct of body, speech, and mind, that is mingled with defilements, small, poor, and unclean offerings, and inability to perform the rite exactly. We ask the teacher, the King of Sages, and the other great compassion Arya beings to be patient with all this. Will you please think of us compassionately, accept us forgivingly, and consent to grant inspiration, so that now and henceforth it may not be an obscuration for us. So do all that's good for beings, and grant siddhis in accordance. Please go to your Buddha lands, but come back again later. Greatly compassionate Lord, it is good that you benefit us and all sentient beings, but please go miraculously for your retinues to your respective lands. Auspicious verses. Whoops. Here's the part where we do them. Okay. Possessor of perfection, like a golden mountain, a lord of the 3 worlds who's left the 3 defilements, a Buddha with eyes resembling full-grown lotus petals. This is the first auspicious good sign for the world. The highest of what he has taught, unshakable, famed in the triple world, honored by gods and humans, the most superior of Dharma, calming every being. This is the second auspicious good sign for the world. You throw the between each stanza. Okay. So, an excellent Sangha, rich in wealth of righteous learning, an object of worship for gods, men and asuras, the best assembly, base of conscience and prosperity. This is the third auspicious good sign for the world. Highest, best teacher, greatest of the great, Son, Lord of Dharma, conquer. Through your inspiration, quell harmful foes, the maras of all kinds of hindrance. Day and night be auspicious seat of prosperity. Highest, best Dharma of true reality, nectar of true Dharma truth. Through your inspiration, free us from faults, let our good collections develop. Day and night be our auspicious seat of prosperity. Sangha, shining splendor of precious qualities, Buddha children, true helpers. Through your inspiration, quell our defilements and sufferings, the foes that torment us. Day and night be our auspicious seat of prosperity. Giving, charity, keeping of morality, practice of patience, undertaking energy, concentration, realizing true mode of being. Let us here now have the blessing of these six. Living a century, seeing 100 teachers, long life, health, and perfect happiness, expertness in the supreme vehicle. Let us now have these auspicious things. I'd like to thank the KadampaCenter for sponsoring this puja, and note that it was like we have done 100 million Shakyamuni Buddha puja, so we can rejoice in that. And let's see, can we say some long life prayers?
Yeah.
In the Gold Prayer Book, if you turn to page 244, 245, let's see, yeah. Starting with the one for His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good, all-powerful Chenrezig, Tenzin Gyatso. Please remain until samsara ends. And then on the other side, on the bottom, the one who mastered his speech at a varying young age, the one with great patience who received the name Avatare, the one with great precision who spread the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa on bliss and void, Lanam, ornament of the yellow tradition. Please remain until samsara ends. Then back to the other side for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. You uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplished magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples. Please, please live long. And then, let's see, on the other side, back in the praise of Lama Tsongkhapa. Migme tsewe ter chen chen desik Rime kempe wang po jampe yam gan chen kepe tsu gen song kapa lo zang da pe Shabla soade. Then 7 green tower mantras for Geshe-la and Geshe samples. Long, healthy, happy lives. Om tare tu re so ha. 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 Thank you. Thank you, Vera. Thank you.